All right, I'm back. Yeah, the doorbell rang, so I need to make sure I answered that. But I think I was talking about UAVS. UAVS, like I said, it was following this whole EMA spike, EMA hack for me. It spiked again, came back down, right? But here, once it started to, go pretty much trade sideways in this little range right here, it wasn't doing much, and then it started to do something here on Friday. So I said that I would buy, which I did. I bought it at $1.84, and from $1.84 or $1.85, I should say. I said I'm just gonna go for this $2.30. I just wanted to catch that move. It was like a 40-cent move, but I just wanted to, sometimes you have to take those singles and really identify that resistance area where you want to, just get a nice trade in. And it actually helps build the psyche. When you take a small trade, whether it's 40 cents or 50 cents, and you can identify where you need to get in and identify where you need to get out. And that's what I did here. I said 230 because that's where this resistance area was at. I didn't want to go for this whole $4, 360 area, or even $4 or $5, just because I felt like, I have to be reasonable. I don't expect anything like this to really happen. So I was, I managed my expectations, right? So that is what happened here. And I can even show you on the intraday chart, like, so you can kind of get a sense, right? And like I said in the previous video, the market day is still going on right now. So if you see the numbers, kind of flashing, that's what you're seeing. Now, see, even here, I sold way too soon, right? I sold, in the pre-market like I typically do, and it still ran to 275, right? Would I have known that it was going to run to 275? No. I did see numbers going back on the level two, going back down to $2.15, which I was not in fan of, so that's why I got out, you know. And I'm starting to realize that sometimes when it spikes in the pre-market, it might try to test that spike in when the market opens, so that'll be also something that I need to look out for, when that day comes. That if it does spike in the pre-market, look when the market opens that it could retest that spike within the first couple of minutes too, right? So maybe I'll take a sell position maybe at 250 instead of that 257, right? But you see here it went up to like 260-ish. So this was really good actually, and I bought over here. I bought right here. It was like around right after lunch, like around 110. So that is UAVS. Let's get into what's the next one? I think it was GRAF. Did I trade GRAF? I did, huh? No, I didn't. This was, yeah. Okay, yeah. I did. And I held it for a couple of days. That's right. So this is the one that I held coming into Arizona on the flight. I wasn't sure if it was really going to break. I was waiting for it to break for a while, and it wasn't just trying to break, and I sold it in the pre-market more than likely. So let's go to the intraday chart. Now, GRAF is another one of those SPACs, those special private acquisition companies. So, when I bought it, a little bit too soon. It pulled back very deeply. This is, I think in the previous video, I mentioned like, hey, when it comes down, wait for it to come down to 200 EMA, because typically that's what these stocks do. They will come down to the 200 EMA, and then that's where you could buy and then, catch it on the upswing. So if I really just bought it at the 18, maybe even 1830, 1840, and sold it at $20, that's still $1.20 a share. That would have been a pretty nice move. But because of my impatience, I kind of just held it. And when I held it, I ended up selling it. Not there. Where did I sell you at? What day? Why are you not showing? Oh, it's right here. I sold it in the pre-market. That's why. So that's why it's not really showing. But I sold it right around here at this 21.14 area. So, just because it was time for it to get let go. So there's nothing really special about this one. I just wanted to show you what I did with it. But it still follows that whole EMA hack that I follow. What's next? Next is probably one of my least favorite stocks because I can never time it properly. And then yesterday when I actually did get into the stock, I still couldn't time it properly, even though I knew it was going to do exactly what it did today, right? So this is a stock today. I bought it yesterday in the after hours because I knew it was going to do something, right? VXRT, if you don't know, this is a stock that's really in the coronavirus space. I do love vaccines. I do like dealing with them a lot. Well, not me personally, but at least trading them on the stock market. So like this one, I tried several times getting in and lost. Like I've tried. So I said, I'm gonna try it again because the price action is just so funky. It is really, really funky. But this one is one that I could have just held and waited on, but I didn't. Man, it's good that I didn't because I end up getting into another stock, which proved out to just serve me as good, but this one would have been just as good, and I wasted a day trade too. So, let's look at this, right? The past 5 days. So I bought this. No, I bought it before before after hours. So I bought it before after hours. I bought some when it was coming down at 12.35, and then I bought some more at 12.87, right? Because I thought it was going to go higher. It pulled back. And when it pulled back, I was just getting tired of it because it was showing me 11, and it was showing me $11 and like 90 cents, 11 on the level 2. And I said, this is just too much. This is doing way too much. And so I was not up for the mental tenacity I needed to keep up to ensure that it would go higher. And what it did go higher. And I said it would go higher in my own group chat. It went up to 13.89, and then it opened up at 16.15, pulled back. And I even thought about buying this on the pullback, and I decided not to. But it went higher, and right now it's trading. It went to the high of day of 17.49. But right now it's trading around 16. So if I were to buy this, I would wait until it got to 15.15 on the EMA right here, the 200 EMA. Mainly because one, it's too high, right? Two, you can see that the momentum is shifting downward, so it's in some selling pressure. Three, the RSI is still in between the bears and the bulls, so it should come back down. But it will still stay up higher, mainly because, well, another reason, which is 5 or 6, right? I'm building my case here, that the 200 EMA is crossing over the VWAP, which is this 1521 cent area. And normally when all 3 EMAs cross over the VWAP, the stock still continues to go higher. So that's what I'm anticipating here. I would not buy here. I would just wait for it to pull back. If I miss it, I miss it. If I don't, I don't. But I am not getting in. I would look at the hour chart to see, is it overbought on the hour? It's overbought on the hour, so there might be a chance that it will pull back. It might not be a chance that it'll pull back. It might just go higher. But I would rather err on the side of caution where I can limit my risk. And being that how my behavioral patterns have been on stocks like this, where I don't wait for it to come all the way down to the 200 EMA. Even if I were to buy at the 100 EMA, and then it still comes down to the 200 EMA. I would probably buy more shares. I would probably buy a small position here at 1635, and if it still shows some weakness, then buy another small position until it shows me that it can, break out and go higher. This one is starting to look like it wants to break out and go higher, but I don't trust this price action ever at all. So that's why I would wait for it to get to 1586 before I even do anything, and that's just me. I'm erring on the side of caution. So I cut this stock. Essentially, I cut my position in here. Mainly I lost like 40 cents a share on it on my average price. So I cut this position because I ended up seeing INMB. So INMB, which is also another stock that has weird and funky price action. This one is also an EMA hack, and it also showed some candlestick movement here. And once I saw this candlestick here after these 2 consecutive days, I said this is something I have to get in on. So let's go on the intraday chart. On the intraday, and we see that it's failing right now. But I bought this a couple of times, right? And the first time that I bought this was, after it spiked and pulled all the way back down. So I bought this, I think average price was in the 14, it was like, I think it was 1540-ish, 1540-ish, I believe. So when I bought this here, and I bought some more here before the market closed, I really just wanted to sell into the spike, which is what I did. I sold it at this $19 area. So I pretty much got $4 a share off of this. So I sold this at a reasonable time and price for a stock that I thought was failing on me. So I was really, really happy with that. So what I ended up doing was I said, hey, it fell down, and I said, man, I missed that fall, because you see it came down to the 200 EMA. I missed that, and I should buy some and try to hopefully that it will come back to this high of day, this $24 area. So I bought some, and it came down. It came down back to the 200 EMA, which is where I say this is where you should buy, 200 EMA. So I bought at the 200 EMA again, and just waited. And when I saw that, I had another opportunity to sell, I did. I sold here at this 2114 area. So I think my average price here was $20.45, and I just sold here at 2114 today. So I have to really concentrate on these pullbacks, particularly if I'm going to jump back in on a stock, because that's what happened. I jumped back in on this stock, and since I jumped back in, or I wanted to jump back in, or I wasn't sure if I wanted to jump back in, especially looking at VXRT, this was something that I could have been like, hey, maybe to go back to VXRT, because the chart pattern for VXRT was strong on the year chart. Like if you look on the year chart, if you look on the year chart, right, this candlestick here yesterday was engulfing this candlestick here. So it was only a matter of time that it was going to go higher on this candlestick, or go higher on this candlestick, which is this day, right? So it's not at an all-time high yet, but I feel that it can continue to go and run higher. Even though it's overbought, they already sold off some shares and stuff like that. So I could have easily went into this as opposed to double dipping and getting back into the stock and waiting the whole day. This was time wasted that could have went to a whole nother stock. It's fortunate enough that I was able to profit, but at the same time, I don't want to build a habit of something that won't lead to habitual ritual profitability. I want to get into that habit of building that ritual that will lead me to profitability. So I don't want to start going on to bad behaviors that luckily will get me into, because you could see by the end of the day it came back down to 17. You know, it was just by chance and sheer volume that the stock actually found some more momentum coming, where it traded over the VWAP. And even though the EMAs didn't cross over the VWAP, you know, I should have sold this at 22, right? You know, but I got out sooner because I was like, hey, you know, I just want to get out because I didn't want what happened, you know, over here. What was it over here? I didn't want that happening again, where I was, you know, not able to sell, right? So I got that opportunity to sell. I took my chance and sold. And now we see that's going into the 16s, and it should go lower. So that's the one thing with the EMA hack. Like, typically, if it goes up too high, as you can see, it's overbought on the year chart and it's overbought on the hour chart, then, you know, you really don't want to play with fire too much. So that's it for what I traded. Oh, no, I have one more. This was another trade that I got out of yesterday because it was just showing weakness, and all that weakness wasn't good. So Dolphin Entertainment, it looked like, oops, I got put on the 30-minute chart by accident. So if we go onto right here, right, in the after hours, it was showing that it was showing positive movement, right? It was showing, but you can't see it here, obviously, right now. But it was showing positive movement in the after hours. So right now I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have, because this is a red candlestick, and we saw what happened on the last red candlestick where it came back down. You know, that was an obvious red flag for a red candlestick, right? Even though that it was showing me this whole EMA hack, it was showing me also what his past behavior was, and I kind of just blew that. I blew that off, and I bought some shares in the after hours, or was it before the market opened? We're about to find out. So this was yesterday. This was Monday. Yep, it was before the market closed, right? So I bought at 165, and I bought some more at 174, and I think my total average was like 160, maybe 170. I want to say 168, 7, something like that, right? Well, when the market, when the after hours came along, I think I misspoke. I said that the price action was showing that it was going higher, but the price action actually dropped the stock down low, and even going into the close, the price came down to 140s, and then it went back up to 160. But there was a news article on Bazinga that said that that this company actually reported their market share wrong, and that gave investors a chance to like really scrutinize the company and get out. And when I looked on Twitter, it showed that that was actually a wrong statement, and Bazinga actually just kind of messed up this company. But anyway, this is one that I probably shouldn't have traded anyway, because of what I told you about the previous candlestick. So that previous candlestick, you know, this one right here kind of matches this one right here. So I should have expected something like this, really, because that's what happened here. So that's the last one. There's less than 5 minutes left in the trading day. So the market is about to close. I'm going to start looking at something to actually hold as an overnight trade. I actually have one position right now. I will go over that tomorrow, but you know, thank you for listening. I will merge these two videos, or I'll just put part 1 and part 2 on the video, because I was interrupted in the first half of this video. So this is just a kind of review over some of the trades that I made from Friday going into Monday and into today. So thank you so much. Stay profitable, and remember, always study. Yeah, click like, subscribe, please. Leave comments. Thank you.